So I want people who are seeing this on YouTube. If you see our bio on YouTube, and then if you're on the computer, you can see the little screen. You know the title, our logo, not your cousin's logo. I want you to know that we made that a long time ago, just so, just for reference about the timing of everything. Because it says we know about the Pope, and now
Mm.
it's it might not be in the best taste, but you know what? We do still know about him, and he'll live in our hearts and our minds forever.
Yeah, I'm not saying I knew he was gonna die or anything. It's definitely not the case. And I definitely didn't know the exact day that he would die. And I didn't know that JD Vance might have killed him. I definitely didn't. I didn't predict that.
Yeah, we thought he was gonna turn into the Emperor Palpatine. So we were wrong about that, but we knew about him, that he existed.
And for I'm chewing with a full mouth of food. Um, we know about his butthole. Old reference. You'll have to figure that one out for yourself, but we know about it.
Yeah, go to the clips channel.
Well, I'm eating because I haven't eaten all morning. Now I've been trying to set up this goddamn AC. It took me like my whole morning since I got up. I woke up in a sweat. It's 93 degrees here. No AC in this like box that I live in, right? I wake up, I'm cooking. I'm sweating. I run out. I just got an AC recently. I rushed to set it up. I was going to set it up yesterday, but I took it out of the box and it said it has to be upright for 6 hours. So I was like, well, screw it. I have to wait till tomorrow. I wait till tomorrow. I can't even. This thing isn't even set up right. There's cracks in my window. I literally just propped it. Like, it's not even efficient because, like, half of the window was still open. There's a half open crack in the window. And I couldn't get it in. Someone made just like whoever made that like should be shot. That's what I was thinking in the moment. Like, I don't mean that. I don't mean it. But I was thinking when I was like putting that, and the hose doesn't fit where the water comes out, it doesn't fit in the hole. And I thought I was breaking it because it's this cheap plastic thing trying to screw it in. I was so mad. I was so angry. Oh, this whole morning, I didn't even finish my coffee. I made it real quick. I took a few sips and just went to town, and I didn't eat. And then my blood sugar's low, so I'm already pissed wrestling this goddamn thing. And what would happen is I'd put the hose, you try to fit it to the like panel that's supposed to slide into the window. You try to hook it, and then it goes bloop, and it comes out of the other side. And then you put that one in, and then you put it in, bloop, and it comes out. It's like a both end thing, and then you have to screw it on first and then hold one side and like just try to like get this stupid long hose into the window. I'm still mad because it's not set up right, but at least cold air is coming in here, so I won't die to the heat. Ah, man.
So, but hold on. Did they design it poorly, or is it, you think it's their fault?
Mm,
Like, it could be cheap and hard to put together, but once it's put together, is it gonna actually work?
no. I mean, it's in the window now. I don't know if the water's gonna come out right though either, because like it has to like I put like a little like Tupperware container because I need to buy a bucket now. It recommends a bucket. But you couldn't even fit the water hose in very easily. Like I'm wondering in my head, I'm like, how does that seal? Because you just stick this cheap little plastic piece and you have to like crimp it and shove it into this like into the water hole where like the water comes out. And I'm like, how did that even seal? I don't even know if it's sealed. So I'm gonna see if this thing just starts imploding on itself because the water thing didn't seal. But if it did, it's not even sitting in the window right. There's a gap. And they designed it in such a way where there's this little slider piece. It's not big enough for my window, first. But also, second of all, when you close it, the little like the pipe that comes out of the panel, it doesn't actually seal because the pipe is too big for the window. So you basically just seal it on the pipe, and the panel just sits loosely in the window. So now there's cracks on the side, and there's also a massive crack up above. There's a screen,
They
but the
probably
screen
okay.
is shit on this house, so bugs might get in. And now I like have to figure out like foam. I'm probably gonna have to just stick a ton of foam in there, or just every day close it at night. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. Okay. So that's pretty crazy. If the fact that the pipe is wider than the panel is absurd, that part's crazy.
Well, it's
They
not,
probably
but
had a
they don't factor in the fact that windows have divots in them. So part of the panel goes into the window, and that would be great. It would be like, oh, that's perfect. If they made it just a
yes.
little bit wider, it would seal. And then the top, because it slides in to the other piece so you can extend it, it's smaller than the bottom piece. So it's never going to get a perfect seal. Whoever thought of it, like, it's never going to do that. Like, their brains didn't think about these things.
Well,
It's
did you get the cheapest one? Is that what you did?
I think it was like 70 something bucks, I guess. So yeah, maybe it's not the best.
Oh man. Okay.
I don't
But
even
cold
think
air
I'll
comes
return
out.
it.
That's good.
I need it to survive. That Here's what the predicament about an AC is too. These guys, I think they know. They're like, "Oh, you could return it, but good luck with the heat, bucko." Cuz then you have to take the AC out, return it, and then get a new AC, and then you're not going to have AC for a day. And so when it hits 93, they're thinking, "Gotcha."
But so you bought it in person or you bought it online?
I bought it online. It's an Amazon purchase.
Okay, so you can buy another one and then return the one after. You don't have to be in
True.
the heat.
But then I kept the box
Yeah.
just in case. But I don't want to. It's so. Also, the boxes, they make it purposely like you have to like strap the things onto it with these plastic straps. I don't know if I want to go through this. I'm just going to maybe buy some foam and try to just seal my window with some DEI. I don't know, like DIY, do it yourself. Just some DIY kind of job there. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I don't know if foam would work the best,
Mm.
but maybe a piece of wood. Maybe a piece of wood would work.
Is it gonna seal the window though? I have weather stripping. I'm thinking for the sides of it, I can just pad the top with weather stripping on the sides so it actually seals in the window better. And do the same for the bottom and just layer on the stripping until it just gets a nice good seal.
Oh, well, that's not foam.
True, I guess it's weather stripping. For the top though, I probably will have to get a wooden piece, mount it to the plastic piece to try to seal it, do the same there, and do this hodgepodge job. It just makes me so mad that I have to do that though. Like it's ridiculous to me. I'm thinking about moving it to the bedroom too, because the bedroom is just a shorter window. And it has wheels. They thought to put wheels on the thing, which is great. I mean, thankfully you don't have to carry it. You can slide it across. But I'm thinking about doing that. But if it doesn't seal in there, I don't want bugs coming into my room. I'd rather have it over there
No.
because that's away from my room.
Yeah. Yeah. It's never gonna seal, no matter what.
Yeah, probably true. It's so annoying. It might even be too big because they don't even let you lock in place. Like they say that you can on the instructions, but they give you like this little like tightening thing, and it doesn't work. It just goes in, and even I was thinking, I was like, how? And it says once you fit in the hose, it should lock in place. It doesn't. The hose doesn't lock in place. The little clips that they have, it goes. It doesn't sit. It doesn't go and lock in there. It locks in, but once you try to set the top thing on there to seal it in the window, it goes, oh, sorry, bro. It doesn't work.
You
It's crazy.
know what? I I I think we can I think I came up with a pretty good idea. So, you don't have a drill, do you?
No, but I do have a screwdriver.
Okay. This might require a drill. Um, so I don't know if you could find one or if you know someone who has one. But what you could do is you measure the size of the window you need, the thing to fill the entire window. Imagine you took all the pieces out of the window, right? You get a piece of wood that perfectly fits the size of the window, and you can have them cut that for you at Home Depot. So you don't have to cut it at all. You just find a piece of wood and you tell them the dimensions you want and they cut it for you, right? You can bring it home. I think we even did that one time. We did. We did do that. Then what you can do is you drill a hole the size of the tube. And then all
Mm.
you would do is you'd have the big piece of wood and then the hole, and it would be a little bit smaller than the tube, and you would just jam the tube right in there.
That's even a better idea. Then I can abandon that dumb plastic piece that they have
Yeah.
and just put it
And
right in.
you can get it the perfect size, and then all around the edges, just for bug control, you could get that weather stripping on there if you have enough.
That, I think that's what I'm gonna do, yeah. And then I can seal the sides of the wood so it just crimps right into the window.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm gonna do that. I think that's a great idea, cause man,
Good.
luckily the little like,
Disaster.
what do you call that, the like what is it,
The sliding part of the window?
no, like the it keeps bugs out,
Oh, the screen.
the
Yeah.
screen, yeah, the screen of the window. It's good enough to where, like, I think now it should keep most of the bugs out, but I still am a little bit eerie because there's a side of the window where they can just, like, they could crawl in if they like it in here.
Yeah.
And it's so hot out
Yeah.
there. I'm thinking this environment is gonna start seeming pretty nice to them, even though half of the goddamn air conditioning is probably just going out the window. Like, it's still hot in here, and I have it set. Look, I have this little thing. It comes with this. You'd think that I would have rather, I don't mind walking up to it, all right, and just pressing the button on the thing. They could have taken the price of this, put it back into that. Don't give me this. Put it into that. I don't need to control it from here. And it does actually work. You can actually, like, it's crazy. It reaches across the fridge and everything, but I didn't need this. I didn't need this device. I'm fine getting up and walking over to my air conditioner. I don't need to use a remote.
I'm surprised they made it for 70, dude. That is very, very low.
Yeah, and there is
It's
cold
very
air coming out. Like, it was so hot in here. Immediately when I turned it on, I was like, oh, it's better in here. It just, like, it felt immediately better once it came on. That's the crazy thing. Even with the hole in the window, half of the cold air is probably just releasing outside of the window, not even sealed. It still felt better in here. Well, I was like, finally, God. It's good. It's finally good.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I'm glad that that actually creates cold air. So as far as cutting this hole, what you'll need is you have a measuring tape. You would measure the size of the hole. Let's see if there's a way we could do it without that. So there's no drill. There is no drill.
I wonder if I could have somebody at the Home Depot just cut a little hole in it for me. Like, it just has to be smaller than the hole itself. I mean, as long as it gets airflow.
I don't think that you can ask. There could be a two-step plan. There could be ask them if they can cut a specific size circular hole, or they'll rent you a drill for it's like 15 or 20 bucks. And then you'd have to buy, they sell these giant drill bits. That's kind of like a regular drill bit in the middle, and then it's like this circular saw piece on the outside. Have you seen those before?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you'd get one of those, and you'd have to probably purchase that. So now it's getting up to maybe this is gonna be $40 extra, including that piece of wood, right?
See, they should have
With the
told me.
rental.
They should have told me that. The air conditioner guy should have been like, look, our window piece kind of sucks. Like, you know what? If it was me, I would make them put that on there and be like, look, our window piece kind of sucks. Like, sometimes if you have and maybe look.
Did you look at the reviews though? Because that's the thing.
The reviews were good. The reviews were they were decent. They were good. Now look, I don't know. Like,
how many
I think
stars was it?
I can't remember. I'll have to check. I'll have to look on
Was
Amazon.
it less than 4?
No,
Was it less
it
than
was
4?
it was 4 something.
How many total reviews were there?
I can't remember. It wasn't like fishy though. It was enough to where I was like, oh, the odds are like I was thinking odds are, you know, it's gonna be okay. It's a little cheap. I was expecting it, but I wasn't expecting it to be a pain to put together. And look, my house. I'm not gonna pretend like this house like that. I'm rent. I call it a house. It's a guest house. This guest house that I'm renting. The windows are all like, everything's a fucked up shape. The door is a fucked up shape. It's slanted. There's weather stripping up there now because there was such a big gap. I had to pile it in there to make sure that it seals. I'm not going to pretend like it's a perfect place, all right? The windows might be fucked a little bit, and maybe that's why. Maybe it's partially the house's fault, all right? I'll give it partially on that. But that thing, I was looking at it, and I'm like, that's not shaped to where it could fit in anybody's window properly. Even in a perfectly square window, brand new. Like, it's like, that's not going to fit in there. I was just thinking about it, and I was like, fine. It's not tall enough to fit in the window. That's on me. Right, the little gap at the top. All right, fine. It's not big enough. But the ceiling on the side? Maybe some people just don't care. Or have actually good... You know what probably it is? They probably have good screens on their windows, and they're like, I don't care. Bugs aren't going to get in. For me, I'm thinking about the bugs. So the seal for me is important. I'm going to have to get a bucket where the water goes in. I feel like I'm using a Tupperware container. I actually should check on it because I don't want it to flood. It even tells a warning. It's like, use a bucket. This might flood in your house if you don't use a big enough container. I'm so desperate. I'm using a Tupperware container. I'm like the guys who have a leak in the roof and they put a bucket and it's like, shh. And like the person who's like panicking as like all the water's dripping in their house. Or like the person on like a boat that's like filling up with water and they're like, shh, shh. Except for me, instead of possibly sinking and drowning, I might perish to the heat. With the only device keeping me alive.
Yeah, so you might either drown or die from heat exhaustion.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
It's the balance.
That's
My
rare.
life is going to become a balance game. It's like a video game where it's like the water starts filling up and you have to but if you wait if you wait too long and you turn it off so that it stops producing water, then it starts heating up in here. No, but then you turn it back on, the water starts coming. You better get the water out before you drown, Terrible.
Yeah, man. Well, you only have to last another month, and then you'll be out of there for a month, but then you'll have to go back, and then that might be the hottest part.
Yeah. Yeah. But by then I hope to have this thing patched, have this thing all sealed up.
Oh, yeah.
Good to go. Get my bucket.
Yeah.
That's another cost. I have to buy a bucket. Some kind of bucket so that the water goes in there that it produces.
Yeah. But you might not need a bucket. You might need just a big bowl. And you might be able to find that for pretty cheap. Goodwill. Big bowl, big pot.
Ooh, yeah. Big pot.
Yep. Big pot from Goodwill. I bet you can get that for less than $5.
Then it's going to look really janky, though. I mean, a plastic bucket would probably look just as janky, but that would be pretty jank. Like a pot, Then it looks like I'm really in one of those movies where the floods come in and it's dripping through the ceiling and they're like, grab the pots, honey. And like they're just bringing all the pots out to catch water.
Yeah. I made this. Oh, yeah. I'll send it to the email, actually. And then you'll be able to play a little sound.
Okay.
It's a Cheeto Boss movie score.
Okay. Tell me if you can hear this.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. Let me make sure that looks good on stream too. It actually has like volume. Yep, that's working. Ooh. you're kind of washed by because you're on the same track. I didn't realize it, but you are on the same track as the audio track.
You couldn't hear me at all?
No, it's so loud. Let me try to turn down.
No, no, it's fine.
I
It's
could hear
fine.
you, but it was almost like someone in it was like someone in a club.
That's fine.
Like,
That's just
okay,
finish it
okay.
out.
Because it's
The
as loud
quiet.
as you. I realized it's as loud as your voice, but then like coupled on the same track, it's like in a club where someone's like, "Hey."
It's fine. It's kind of gonna be like epic like that. And then when it gets quiet for a second, that's when like the horde realizes that he's been hiding Cheetos for them for all these years.
Okay, yeah.
And then when it comes back in, that's when they attack.
I see it coming up here. And then it comes back. Oh.
And they're fucking him up. We've like left the room at this point. We left the room at this one point, but like it's like it pans back to the door cracked open, and you can see like flashing. I'm imagining like there's like orange lights in there, and you can like see flashing like shadows and stuff of like them just like ripping this guy to pieces. And we're going to pitch to Cheetos at some point in the process
Yeah,
to
I
fund them, right? Because if the dude, even if they gave us like 20 grand, that'd be crazy.
the only thing is that we have a guy who snorts Cheeto dust
Yeah, but
in
they
the
don't have to
movie.
be like that could be good marketing like if they just like, you know?
We present Cheetos as a drug, though. I mean, there's a who knows? There's like some companies that have gone like farther than others into the like comedic territory and into
Yeah.
more like like Nutter Butters was doing some weird stuff on a TikTok recently.
Yeah.
They were doing some weird stuff. So who knows? Like marketing comes in different shapes and styles. But we'll have
Right.
to see.
And
I think it's like it's not very likely, but the idea of even sending them the idea is funny to me. So I like that.
well, yeah, I mean, also like we don't have to tell them that it's a drug. We can just say, well, it's a comedy movie, and you know, this guy he eats a lot of Cheetos, and like we can make it sound as best as we think we can make it sound as far as it goes on how they perceive it, you know?
As long as afterwards, because here's the only thing: you don't want to like piss them off when they watch the movie and they're like, "Oh my god, they're snorting Cheeto dust in this movie," and then like that's when you get like the lawsuit on your table, and it's like
Well, we'd have to see what the contract is, you know?
true,
It just depends.
true.
Yeah. But yeah, 20 grand from them would be great.
It's still hot in here. It's still heating up. My brain is still frying. I don't know how low this thing can go. I have it at 62. I have it set at 62. The lowest it
Yeah.
goes is 61. It doesn't go any lower than that. I wonder if there's like an ultra boost mode or I don't know.
Do you think it's hotter outside or inside?
Oh, it's definitely hotter outside. Yeah, it's cooling down now in the late afternoon. It's 89 degrees, so it cooled off by
Okay,
four
so
4 degrees.
outside and inside. What does that mean?
Um, inside my place. It's hotter outside, I think, because before it was really bad. Now with the AC, it's less bad.
But what side?
What side? Like what side of outside? The sun's facing
What
that way, so it's actually like.
what what is what is because there's inside and then there's outside. So what is side?
As far as like English meaning goes, inside.
And it's not about buildings because you can have like you can put your hand inside of a glove, right?
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if it's like you're going to some side, you know? When you walk in your door, like you're on some side of your house, but you're in that side of your house. When you go outside, you're out that side of your house.
So there's inside out also, which is another one, right?
Inside out. Oh, yeah. That's cuz it's inside but out.
So inside out is there's a side that's on the in. And I guess side means body in this context.
Yeah, I was thinking even about a t-shirt. You know how like when you pull a t-shirt like through like and you pull it through the other side? Like you
Yeah.
could even say it you go inside out and then it would be inside out.
Well, yeah, because the inside is out. But I guess it just means object, or what they're saying is body, but it's like inside. There's an inside of your head, there's an inside of your body, there's an inside of your home, there's an inside of female anatomy.
Vagina.
Yeah, vaginal.
Technically there can be an inside to everything. I mean like everything like has an inside. Even something solid has an inside, you know?
Yeah, but not that you can't like say the sky has an inside.
True. I guess no one says like people say we're going into space. If like, you know, they're
Yeah.
launching a rocket, they're not going inside of space. Like I guess no one says like we're going inside of the space. It's like no, like
I I think unless there's like a wormhole, then maybe you're going inside of it.
yeah. Yeah. But then technically you are inside the space if you're inside of a rocket because the space isn't inside of you. The space is outside. You are now in an oxygenated bubble in a tin can. So that tin can is inside of the space and you are inside of the oxygenated tin can.
N- You know, the tin can is not inside space. It's in space.
But if space surrounds it, if it's in the middle of space, what if it's dead center in space? That's impossible. They can't. There's no dead center of space. But it's just like it's so far out. It's somewhere in the midst of space. Technically, it could be inside.
No, 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 I can't.
Well, I guess because there's
Because
no boundary.
there's
So maybe
there's no
that's the
outside.
yeah.
There must be an inside and an outside.
But technically, there's an outside of air. You know, like you leave the atmosphere, there's no more air.
Yeah, but air is a collection of particles. So it's a grouping term for a collection, which are all individual pieces, and we're not actually inside the individual pieces. We're in between them.
I guess like if you're talking about like the collection of like oxygen, like air, because we're definitely inside the atmosphere.
Yeah, because there's an inside and an outside of that.
Yeah, I guess there really is no outside of. Well, there kind of is an outside of air, though. If you think about it, there's an outside of air. You know, it's the
We're
next layer
outside
of
of
the
air.
atmosphere. You know,
I guess we're outside of air if we really think about it.
but the air is also inside of us.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially
But the
oxygen. I guess it's in my veins too. You know, it's all over my body. I'm
yeah, it's
partially made of
everywhere.
oxygen, so I just
Yeah.
am air and water and other things.
Yeah.
But then think about this.
It's big.
Help! I am in the water. That you know that's just a meme. That where like the guy's in the water. I don't know, but yeah, you're inside of the water if you're underwater, but
No,
you're also made of water.
you're
Oh no,
not
you're
in
in the water. You're right. You're in the
you're not
water.
inside the water.
No one
Yeah.
ever says inside the water. Even though you can be out of the water, you can't be outside the water. You
Cuz
can't be
cuz
outside of it, I guess.
cuz the water again it is claiming to be an object, but what it is really is a collection of discrete entities, and you are in it because you are amongst all the distinct entities. That's why you're in air or you're in water, right? You're amongst the discrete entities, and it's not itself an object.
But then think about the slight variance of like someone could be like, you're inside your house, or I might say, I'm in my house. I'm in my house. But
Yeah,
then it's
you're
the same
amongst
thing as.
you're amongst your house.
But what if I'm in a specific room? I'm not amongst the rest of the house. I'm in my room.
You're amongst the house as its own discrete entity.
I don't know.
I'm in my house, right? So my house is an entity, right?
What if a man built a house underwater and said, "Come inside, it's warm." Someone
It's
jumps
like
in and they come
he
in.
lives on a hot springs.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. See, as long as there's an interior and an exterior, and in a house, it doesn't matter where it is, it has those. It has nothing to do with the water. Come on, and it's warm.
Yeah. Come inside. But then again, I guess it's not like. Yeah, but what about a pool? A pool is a limited space that could even be somebody's home. A fish lives in the tank, and it's like, you don't say, "Come inside the fish tank." You'd say, "Come into the fish tank. Come in.
No, 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 no.
Jump in."
Okay, let's see this. You can be inside a swimming pool.
But no one says, "Come inside." Imagine if you walked up to a swimming pool and someone said, "Hey, come inside." No one's saying that. Someone's saying, "Come into the swimming pool. Get in here."
Come inside the swimming pool.
Someone's going to start jerking it. Like, someone's going to be like,
I'm
"Come
inside.
inside."
No,
Oh,
okay, no, 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 no.
yes.
But check this
Like,
out. I'm inside the pool. I'm inside. You'd say I'm in the hot tub, but you could be inside the pool.
you could be, I
It
guess,
sounds kind
from
of.
a
It sounds
third
kind of weird.
POV, someone saying he's inside the pool. But no one would say, "Come inside the pool." Someone would be like, "Come
It still
inside."
sounds. It still sounds weird, no matter what perspective it is.
The only time that it sounds normal though is if like someone's like, "Tommy, Jimmy, come inside for dinner." Like I guess that like seems more normal. It's like come inside the house. But it only works for a house. I like everything else is just weird like, you know?
Does it have to be something that could be fully in or fully out? Like you're often not actually fully inside the pool. Come inside the water. Come in the water.
It's got
Come
to be come in the
inside.
water. It's the only way. Come inside the water is weird. It's strange. It's like, "Oh no."
Come in the water's fine. Yeah, I mean, damn. Yeah, come inside the pool. So there is an inside and I guess okay, yep. There's no inside of the pool. There's just in and out.
But there's boundaries to the pool. There's like the pool only extends so far. Like someone could say from a third like POV could sit and be like he's outside of the pool.
He's out of the pool.
You
He's
could say that
outside of the
too, but
pool. He's outside of the pool.
mm,
There's no, that still sounds weird
it
as
kind of
he's
does.
inside the pool. He's inside the water. So I think it actually a there has to be an inside and an outside. There has to be you have to be able to be in it.
But wouldn't that mean? Is it just defined by a roof?
No, no, no. It's a glove. A glove. You can
Inside of a
have your
glove.
hand inside of
But
a
then
glove,
again, that's
right?
covered. Inside of a
Right.
glove?
So it's blocked from the outside in some way.
Yeah, I guess it. But it's open. A glove is technically open by one end. It's just enclosed around all other sides. But if a
Well,
pool,
the
if you
glove
think about it, imagine you turned a pool sideways. One
is
entry.
just a big glove.
It's just a
It's just
big
a
glove.
big.
Yeah. Imagine like that's
Come
mean
in-
to people who have
come
like
inside the
small
pool.
hands. Imagine someone had a little baby hand and they stuck their hand in the glove and they're like, it's so big. It's like I can go anywhere in this glove. They'd still be inside the glove. Just like a person who's like, oh, the pool.
Well, I think okay. So what often happens in a pool is that they're neither fully in it or out it most of the time,
Hmm.
right? So if you were to come inside the pool, that'd be like you go in the pool and you're staying in there for a while and you're in there until you leave.
But what if somebody did that?
And then you could say, "Come inside the pool," because it's like you're crossing a threshold to where you're gonna be in there until you leave.
Hmm.
Like people just hang out on lounge chairs outside of the pool, but they're at the pool, right? There's at the pool and then there's in the pool. Some people are swimming where like their arm is outside of the pool, right? So they're
Hmm.
not technically inside the pool. They're in it. They're amongst it.
Okay. Yeah. I can see it. I'm trying to think of any other examples.
Fully
Come.
fully in.
What if somebody there was like a vortex? Like I think it would still be weird. Someone would be like, "Come inside." Like if someone like popped their head out of a vortex, they'd be like, "Come in." They're like it would more be like they'd say, "Come in." They wouldn't be like, "Come inside." You know?
They come in still feels weird.
Yeah. And you know, I guess it would be like normal for the person from an outside perspective to be like, he went inside of the portal. Still
Well,
sounds a
yeah,
little
because it's
weird, but it's more normal.
he went inside the portal. He went into the portal.
It sounds better. Into the portal. He went into the portal. He went
Well, I think
inside the portal.
you, you don't yeah, inside still sounds weird, but you don't know what's in the portal.
He
You don't
went
know if
through
he's
the
ever coming
portal.
back.
Through
Well, he went
sounds
through
way
the
better. That's
he
I think
went
the
into
correct.
the he went well, I think it depends on if you know what's on the other side of it or not.
What if the portal leads to someone's house?
Then he's going and he's inside. He's definitely inside the house.
What if somebody like there's a pool, but it has walls around it and a roof. Come inside.
Come inside to the architecture, you definitely.
Come inside. But then they might say, come inside of the pool. It's covered.
House.
Oh,
Well, you no, no.
it doesn't work.
Well, you must have been talking about come inside the pool. It's covered. No, no, it doesn't work. What other things have an inside? Oh, like you can go inside a state park. Yeah, I think it really matters if you're going to be coming out or if you're like partially in, partially out. you know, because portal, he went in the portal, right? He didn't go inside the portal because the portal isn't just, it's again, it's not a discrete thing we're referencing. The portal could lead to a multiverse where like he goes inside and he never comes back. So there's no in and outside. There's just one place and another place.
Hmm. What about this though? My feet are inside of my shoes,
And they're going to be coming out.
but I'll be coming out of my house eventually. I'd perish if I stayed in here, especially with the
Exactly.
heat. It's
That's the point. The point is that that's why you're inside your house. And that's why you're inside your shoes.
but
Which
it would be weird if someone said, "Get inside of your shoes." You have to put them on.
yeah, well you no you you can put your feet into inside your shoes.
But nobody would say, "Get
You-
inside your shoes." Like, get those feet inside of those shoes. Like, nobody would. That's weird. Someone would be a weird guy if he
Well,
said that.
it's because y when people talk about people, they talk about putting the object on our body in some fashion. Like put that hat on your head. Don't it's not like put your head into that hat, right? Or it's not like put your torso into that shirt.
Yeah.
That's just the way we talk about people.
What about though? Food never comes off, never comes out of your mouth, but nobody would ever say, "Put that food inside of your mouth." Nobody would say that. Put the
It
food in.
never comes out.
Eat
It
it.
never
Like they
comes out.
say.
That's why you use the word in.
But inside technically would work by the definitions of inside. You'd be like, I am inside of my house. The food is inside of my mouth. But it's like, oh, the
Okay,
second one
when
is
it
like weird. It's like, hey, it's in your mouth. Your food's in your mouth. That's fine.
the food is inside my mouth. Well, it shouldn't ever come out.
Yeah.
It technically could, but we talk about it as if it shouldn't.
Yeah, I guess it's implied. I guess we know it's not gonna come out of there.
That's actually probably true. It's probably true that it's if it's gonna come out, then it's inside.
But you come out of a pool too. You and inside of the pool.
But you're not inside of it. And you're never actually fully inside of it for the whole duration.
What if somebody laid down on their back and went and like the water. The water is it's inside of his mouth, but it's like a swimming pool at that point. He's shoving crackers in.
That
The
actually
crackers
makes
are
sense.
inside of his mouth, but it's like they're in the swimming pool now, but you can't. It's not inside because those crackers are sitting in a pool of water inside of your mouth, and you're gonna have to take them out because you're gonna drown if you don't.
I think I lost it. What you were saying? He's swimming in the swimming pool, and then what happened?
Well, it's like he creates a swimming pool in his mouth.
Okay, so he's just
So
poured water into his mouth.
yeah, and just like a water is the water inside the swimming pool? No, the water is in the swimming pool. Is the water inside of your mouth? Well, technically, but water inside of your mouth is kind of weird. I don't know. I think there's something where like, but then you would say put the food into your mouth, put the food inside of your mouth. If you put little crackers in there, would you have crackers
Well, put
inside
your
of your
food,
mouth? Would you have
put the
crackers
food
in your
in
mouth?
your mouth.
But then
I
the
don't know if
crackers
put the
would come
food
out, you'd
into.
spit it out because you'd have crackers and water in your mouth. You wouldn't be able to digest it. And you'd be on
Okay,
your back.
Yeah. So if you lay down and you put water in your mouth and you close it and you're planning to spit it out at some point, the water that we're talking about is inside of your mouth, right? And then when you spit it out, the water is outside of your mouth.
Yeah. But what if you drink it? Then it's you just swallow and you choke. But the water.
So here's the deal. When we're talking from the perspective of the human and we say put that water inside of your mouth, that's weird. But when we're talking about from the perspective of the water is inside your mouth. That's fine.
But okay, okay. But still, what if there's the pool is still throwing me off. I'll be honest. The pool is still throwing me off because you can come outside of the pool, and you could be amongst the
You're
pool. But imagine if somebody said like, you're swimming at the pool and someone walks up to you and says you are amongst the pool. You'd be like, oh no, I'm inside the pool.
no,
You'd
you're
say that to him. You'd
not.
say I am in the pool. You could say I'm in the pool, but if you might even say like amongst the pool. Like that would be even weirder than inside the pool. You know, like you're amongst the
Well,
pool.
amongst that's what in means.
But it would be weird if someone said that. They'd be say amongst the pool.
Well, the pool. What does the pool mean? Does the pool mean the water that's inside of this depressed area of the ground, or does it mean the water? What's the pool?
That's a great question. I'm trying to think about how like when I think of a pool in my brain, I'm thinking of the water and the boundary of the pool together.
Yeah, me too.
I guess it's interesting because if someone said, come inside the ship, come on the ship, come on board the ship. On board is what people say. You're getting on the ship. But technically, if you go to the lower deck, you're inside the ship. But if somebody, like on the Titanic, there's come inside, no one would buy a ticket on that voyage. And probably for a good reason, because bad things would happen on the Titanic. But I think I lost you. Should return to normal soon. But yeah, if someone told me to come inside of a ship, I'd be very uncomfortable. But if someone told me to come inside of a submarine, that might be a little bit less weird. Technically, though, someone could say you're coming on board. Welcome aboard, someone could say on a submarine. It's like, no, we're inside the submarine. We're not on board this submarine. But the captain would say that, possibly. I don't think it's fixing itself. Okay, there we go. We might we'll have to wait till the connection comes back. I've noticed that on the Twitch. Oh wait, there's a chat that's it's a bot, but best viewers, but best is has a hyphen in front of it. I think they just give up on these like bot messages that they send in the chat. It really doesn't make much sense. Best viewers on streamboo.com. Remove the space. They kept the remove the space. Okay, you're back. You're back.
What does it say?
We got a chat message, but it's from a bot, and it makes me mad that they don't do a good job. You know, like they're lazy. Like, who's gonna buy from this site? So what it says is best viewers on streamboo.com. in parentheses, remove the space. It tried to
What was that?
remind itself to remove the space. It just put the code right in there. And then it says at NVQNVVRK. They don't even try, to be convincing. Like, hey guys, it's me, Jimmy. I own a viewbotting site. Come to my store for a special deal on a Monday sale. It's like, no, they just are bad at it.
So there's no AI answer to the difference between inside and in.
Mm.
There's a YouTube video about prepositions.
I was just gonna say though, like I don't know if you got this part, but imagine that somebody said like, come on the Grand Submarine. Captain, everyone's on board. Welcome aboard, everybody. I'd be like, no, we're not aboard. We're inside. We're inside the submarine. And you'd be like, no, we're aboard it. On a ship,
The
though.
submarine?
Yeah.
Submarine has an inside.
It does. But on a ship, if someone said that to me, I'd be like, no, I guess we are aboard the ship. Welcome aboard. Oh, thank you.
What if it's a cruise ship and you're in your room? Are you inside the ship?
That's what I was saying. Once you go down into the cellar, inside the ship.
I don't think you're inside the ship.
I think you are.
Really?
Inside the ship. Mm-hmm. Inside the engine room. If you go low enough.
Yeah. That's a part of the ship, but you're not fully inside the ship. Because it's the same as the pool. Part of the time you can be on the ship and outside. You can be on the deck. And therefore you can't be inside the ship. You can't be inside a place where some of the time you're on there, you can be outdoors. You can be outside.
What about a mansion? You're technically, there's a mansion, and it's like you're inside a floating mansion. It's a floating mansion, just like a ship.
Okay.
And it's like, come inside, everyone. And like everyone, like there's a little fake lawn, and the kids run inside. They're inside. They're inside the floating mansion. They are inside the ship. That is a mansion. Ship.
Okay, but the mansion is different because the mansion, when you're inside, you're inside.
But on the
Now, if there's a balcony, you're outside, so you're not inside anymore. So you're technically there's no. So the thing is, if there's an on in your object, you can't be inside it.
the mansion has a little like top viewing deck, just like a ship. It's flat up there.
Yeah.
Like one of those like viewing decks where some people go up and they barbecue up there and they look down and they yeah. And inside the mansion.
Okay, so it's a mansion that has a viewing deck.
Mm.
And it floats around.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's floating around. Get inside. Get inside the mansion. Come on inside. It still works.
But there's
But
a
you're not
flat piece on top, just like the ship. But in the ship, come
But you're
inside
not
the ship,
okay,
everybody.
but you're not entering it. So the thing is, when you get on a boat, you enter on the deck first, and then you go inside.
What did the mansion? It was a weird one. It didn't have a formal entrance. You had to walk up the stairs to the top deck and then go inside. They designed it in such a way.
I think I was wrong about it having a deck, but I think having a deck be a major spot you can hang out in. It's not just one element. Like in a mansion with that rooftop deck, it's majority indoors inside the mansion, right? And then there's that one aspect of it. But like in a cruise ship, there's so much stuff you can do outside.
But what happens when the captain says, no one goes out on the deck anymore? everyone stays inside the ship.
No, they wouldn't. Okay. No,
Yes,
no, no.
yes, you would say
They
it.
wouldn't say that. They would say that whole thing, except they wouldn't say the ship. They wouldn't talk about the ship as a whole. They wouldn't do that.
I guess they would just say inside, but it's the implication. Inside of what, sir? The ship.
Inside of the cabin or inside of the like so you can't be inside of a ship.
But what if he's trying to classify like you can stay inside of anywhere that's not outside of the ship?
Yeah, you can be inside anywhere there's an inside and an outside. So now you've taken the ship and you've broken it up into two pieces. There's indoors and outdoors.
But what if like what would they say on the intercoms if like there were people on deck? Please evacuate to the inside of the ship.
They wouldn't say evacuate into the ship. They
Please
wouldn't say
return to
evacuate.
the inside. That would sound weird, actually. I just had the if someone said, "Please come back inside the well, actually inside the ship." They are inside the ship. That if someone said they are inside the ship, that wouldn't sound weird. But if someone said, "Come back
No, they would.
inside of the ship," that would sound strange to me. That would be a
They
little
both
bit.
sound weird.
I don't know. They are inside of the ship. It sounds sounds normal. Please don't
They're
go
inside the
outside.
ship. What's the ship?
The ship. It's the boat. Like if someone imagine if like it's raining outside.
They're
And it's
in the
pouring.
boat.
Hmm?
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So if you're in the boat, you can be on the deck.
Hmm.
Wait, shit.
Yeah.
It depends on how big the boat is.
Yeah. A rowboat. You're in the boat. Someone could even say
Yeah,
you're. Someone might even be like.
you
Someone
can't
might
say
say
it.
he's in the boat, but
You
inside.
can't say he's not inside the boat.
But interestingly enough, if there's a barrel, someone could be in the barrel, but someone might be like, he's inside the barrel.
But he'd have to be fully inside.
But what if his head is peeking out?
He's not inside the barrel then.
But someone might still say
It's
he's
just like the
inside.
pool.
He's inside, and it might someone would be like
No,
it
no, no,
still
no.
applies. It's
No, no, you can't. It's like opening the front door of a house and stepping one leg inside the house and saying that you're inside.
but mm, but what if someone said you're inside the doorway? You're in the doorway. No, you would just say you're in the doorway.
Yeah.
But I think if someone said he's inside the barrel and his head was peeking out, I feel like that distinction would go over everyone's head real quick. They'd say, "Yeah, he is inside the barrel." Like, like
No, no,
it
no,
would
no. I think even if the lid isn't on the barrel, he's all the way his body's fully in the barrel.
But what if
I
there's
think
just one finger that's just off the side?
he's
And it's
not inside of it.
but then someone says, "Oh, I know he's inside. He's inside the barrel. How do you know?" Look at the
Okay.
finger.
Wait. No, no, okay, but hold on. But you said somebody said that.
Yeah.
You didn't say that. You said, what if somebody said he's inside the barrel? Like they were looking for him. And so that changes the context because then they're like a search party trying to find him. And in their heads, he's fully hidden inside the barrel. But if you just watch a guy climb through the top of a barrel and his whole body disappears, I don't know if he's inside there. He's definitely in the barrel.
But he's definitely inside. If he hides, then like yeah, but you see him and you go, he's inside. And now you
If you
know that he's inside.
He's inside the barrel. No, no, no. The barrel, I think he's only inside the barrel if there's a lid put on it.
But what if you looked at the barrel from like a horizontal point of view and you were like, I think he's inside.
No, enclosed. I'm talking about fully
Hmm.
enclosed.
Hmm. What about? Hmm. Yeah, because I guess in a grave, someone if if they weren't buried yet, lower him into his grave. Lower him inside of his grave. Sounds kind of weird. People would be like, no, no, we're lowering him into the grave. And then once they put the dirt on top, he's inside of his grave. But then they can still say he's in the grave. He's in his grave. In his grave.
He's inside. He's inside his coffin.
But not inside of the grave.
No, he's in the grave.
He's in the grave.
The grave. So the grave is like water. The grave is like air. It's non. Or it's not a single entity. It's a group.
What if there was a hole in the casket? Inside the casket. But there's a hole in it.
E.
A small hole, just like how on the barrel there's an open top.
If he, how big's the hole? It's small.
It's like medium. It's like if it was any bigger, it might cause issues. It's pretty big.
Can you stick a finger out of it?
Yes.
Can you stick a finger out?
Yes.
But it's dark down there. You can't see through it. He's inside his coffin. Yeah, he's still in there. He's still trapped. It's like he can't get out. So he's inside of it.
What if it's big enough to where he could just barely shimmy his little corpse through it? It's like you could,
Well, I don't know if that would be considered a coffin at that point.
But it's just like a good sized hole, It's like he's a skinny guy. If he maneuvers him, contorts his body enough, he could shimmy his way out,
Is this so? If there's an opening in the coffin, fuck. I don't think it's a coffin. I don't think he's inside of it anymore.
He is.
He's not. He's not protected.
He's inside.
There's no protection though.
What about inside the cave? You wouldn't be protected because there's
God.
no wall, there's no door enclosing you. Someone is just standing in the back of the cave, and like he's like to the outside world, and then someone points and says he's inside the cave.
Oh God, the cave is a good example.
Yeah, the cave.
He's inside the cave. He's inside the barrel. Oh, the barrel. It's the barrel though. It like I get it. Like a cave is just a big barrel, sideways, right?
Yeah.
But you can be in the cave where like you couldn't just be out of the cave really quick. The size is an issue again, right? Like you can get on the boat, you can get into the boat, right? But when the boat gets too big, you can't get in the boat if you just step on it.
What if?
So I think size changes these prepositions.
What a barrel is. What if someone made a barrel into a boat, but it's still enclosed? Someone just crawls in and goes like this. They're inside the ship, the barrel ship.
They're inside the ship. No, it's still small. It's not. They're not inside the ship.
But then if you move that barrel ship and you went chunk on land, he's inside the barrel. It's enclosed.
No. If it's closed, yeah.
Yeah, and it's closed when they throw it into the water, and someone says, that's a boat. He's inside of it. He's inside.
So he's he's inside of it, and if you're calling it a boat, he's inside it. But there's no deck on the boat. He's in the boat. Is he in the boat? Yeah, I guess he's in the boat. Yeah, he's inside the boat, fully enclosed.
Okay. But then that
But the
barrel, you
cave,
expand it, that becomes like the belly of a ship.
yes. But now you can be on it as well.
Or inside.
Oh, but he's on the ship. He could be on the ship just in the barrel, fully enclosed.
Yeah. Like if someone makes
He's
a
on the
little
ship.
platform on top of the barrel, he could
No,
he
no, he
could
could
break
even when
out
he's
and he
in the
could
barrel, even even when he's in the barrel, he's on the boat because the boat's the whole thing. He's on it.
But
He's
what if
riding
if
it.
it's just the
Like
barrel?
I'm
He's
imagining it's on
inside
a
the
river.
barrel.
He's inside the barrel. He's in the barrel. He's also on the boat.
Mm.
And then you get upsized cruise ship. Now we're talking.
Yeah. Which is just kind of a big barrel if you think about it.
But we, but, 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 but what we were saying. So the boat is the whole entity, right? Let's say the barrel is so small that you can't be anywhere. If you want to be inside the boat, you want to be on the boat. The only place you can be is inside of the barrel, fully enclosed. You can't say there's only one place you can be is on the boat. Come on the boat, come inside the boat, right? So if you're coming inside the boat, that means you're coming inside the boat. The boat, the only place you can be is inside. Okay? Come on inside. It's like you're entering a house, right? There's no other place you can go. But in a cruise ship, you can't. You can't say come inside the boat because you can also get onto the boat and hang out in a place that's not inside.
But same thing with the mansion,
So
with
now
the flat roof.
there's
Everyone can hang on top, and then but they still can
but
come
you're not
inside.
inside. But what I figured out, what I figured out was you're not inside anymore when you go up to the roof.
But same on the boat. You're not inside anymore when you leave the boat.
Exactly. So you can say, come on inside. Like if there's an entrance to the indoors portion, come on inside, right?
Yeah.
But you can't say, come on inside this boat. You can't say, come on in the boat. Because you can't, because there's no, because you can also be on the boat. So as soon as there's multiple options for you, you can no longer say this entity, the boat, you can no longer say that you can come inside because there's multiple options. It's the same as the portal, right? Come on inside the come on inside the portal. Thing is now saying come on inside the boat because there's a deck and there's now an inside with the cabins and the restaurant. Come on inside the portal. If we know what's in the portal and it's just one room and you go there and the only option is to come back out that hole, then you can come inside the portal if you're temporarily going to be in there.
Wait, so but on the floating mansion, couldn't somebody say, "Come inside the house"? It's floating.
Yeah, there's an inside because there's an inside. That the house part that we're talking about is like the place where you can go, which is indoors. Come on in the house. So then now what you're talking about is the house, the inside part.
What if someone though said, "Come inside the house"? Boat.
Come on inside the houseboat. Hmm. Okay, so they came inside the house boat. Coming inside the houseboat. No, because the houseboat is talking about the entire boat.
Come inside the floating house.
Come inside the floating house. Is there an outdoors?
Hmm?
So is the house everything that floats, or is the house the place where the people go?
Hmm. I guess the whole house would float. It would have to.
Right? Because so
Yeah.
there's the house, the physical structure, and then there's the house, what it metaphorically represents, which is the space in which you can inhabit. So you can
Mm.
come on into the house, the space, but you can't come on inside like the actual walls, you know? You can't come inside of the solid material. So if you say come on in the houseboat, what you're really saying is like come on in the space that the houseboat has created and defines.
Mm. What if the outside deck is like this? It's floating separately. It's a separate part of the so that it's like a deck that goes out from the house, and
It's not
it
touching it.
doesn't float. It doesn't float on the water. It's separate from the house. Then you can say, "Come inside the houseboat," because the house is floating, sure, but the deck isn't. It's not a part of the houseboat. There's not an option to be outside on the houseboat. You can only go on the wing, which is just it's just supported on the side, like.
Will you be outside? So come on in the houseboat. Come on in the houseboat.
Come inside the houseboat.
Come inside the houseboat. Come inside the houseboat. It sounds wrong.
No, but what? Come inside the house boat. And it goes inside, and it's separate because
Come
the
on.
outside,
Come.
the deck is separated. It's a different piece. It doesn't float. It's just a separate attachment to the houseboat.
Well, so are we talking about inside or are we talking about in?
Inside, come inside,
Okay.
like, and then someone opens up a door, and I named this house the houseboat because it's a house. That's
That's
also a boat.
fine. Come inside. Come inside works, right? Come inside because there's a room that they're entering into, right? It doesn't matter what you've called it. You can't say come inside. Oh, well you can. Okay, come inside my houseboat. Yeah, come inside my houseboat. That's great. The thing is, with your floating little deck, this is the same as a fully enclosed barrel that you threw into the water and called a boat.
Okay, well, because it can be in that moment. It's a boat. It's a flotation device. Like
Yeah,
it's a.
so the thing is, if the only place they can go is the one place indoors, then they can come inside the whole entity that we're referring to, being the barrel slash boat or the houseboat.
But they can also go on the separated platform that's not floating. They can go outside, and then someone says, "Come inside the houseboat. Get off of the deck." That's not floating in the water. It's not floating.
No,
It's
no, no, no.
attached. It's not float. It's not a part of the houseboat at all. It's just attached by these weird
No,
little
but
things, support
see,
beams.
it has to be it has to be a major component, remember? So we were talking about the cruise ship, and that's too much. That's too substantial. But the little roof deck on the house, you're not technically inside anymore, but it's still part of the house, right? But that's a small portion.
What about on
And
the boat though?
so is the deck. The deck is a small portion.
What if on the deck though, like somebody like closed off half the deck, and then said, "Well, you only get a few steps around on the deck. You better come inside the boat. There's more things to do inside here, inside the boat."
Is the deck a part of the boat or is it not? I'm
It is, but
confused.
you can't use half of it. It's unusable. It's not a big function of the boat.
Come on. Come on inside. Come inside the house. Come inside the boat. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, yeah, you'd have to close down half the deck and then make it a small function of the boat.
Yeah, so it matters what percentage the thing you're going into is of the entire entity that it's a part of. It could be the entirety of it. It could be a small portion. It could be a majority portion. It could be a substantial portion, and it all matters for these prepositions. I think it matters because of like the size that we are as humans. Like everything's referenced to like the size that we are. And so when there's a gigantic thing like a cruise ship, you can't be inside the cruise ship.
What about a really big house, though?
I'm inside the house. Yeah, the house though doesn't have a majority of it. So, yeah, when it gets really big, there's more times when the thing you're talking about has multiple substantial parts. And when there's more than one substantial part, like we've established, then you can no longer be inside the grouped entity that you call it, whether it's a cruise ship or if it's a houseboat that also has a big deck, you know?
What about if there was like someone's like, I live inside of that office, and then there's also a like big like area up top, like a pool and so many activities, and someone's like, come inside for dinner inside of my office house. Come inside the office. Even sounds weird. It even sounds weird to me for some reason. Just if my boss said, come inside the office, come into the office," like I'd say, please tell me to
Well,
come into the office, not
what's the
inside.
office we're talking about? What are we talking about here? It's like a giant office building and you have like a specific floor that your company works at,
What if he
or
runs
it's
it
like
out
a
of his
small
house?
building.
Come
Okay, so
inside to work at my house. And you say,
wait, wait, wait,
please,
wait.
sir, just say, come into work.
Is it his house? Wait, is it his house or is it the office?
It's both.
Come inside. He went inside to go work. See, it's different when you're talking to a human.
Yeah, because if someone said like come inside for dinner, come inside the house, right? Versus if someone said come inside for work. It's different. It's different. It's different context. Like I would be like, just tell me to come into work. Please don't tell me to come inside for work.
Wait, are they standing directly outside of the door and you say come inside to work?
Yeah, yeah. Or like if like
Well,
maybe
the
there's a call like maybe the person like this is like they live in this house that they also designate as an office, and the person calls their kids and says, "Come inside the house for dinner." Calls his employee, "Come inside for work." It's different. It's two different things.
they
It's
no,
one's not right.
you did
One's
different
not
voices,
right.
but they sound both wrong to me.
Come
Well,
inside for
come inside
dinner.
for dinner.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know what dinner is, and we don't know what work is.
Come inside for the expense reports. It's still like, don't like that.
But there's the context built into it to like the kids live there. I'm assuming,
Yeah.
and they're also close by.
What
The
if
person you're calling might be far, far away.
the person is right next to the kids for some reason. The person who works for them is right next to the kids, and they both get the phone call
But the thing is,
separately.
have you seen them recently?
Yeah,
You have? Okay,
yeah.
so if you'd seen them that same day, then you know they're out there. And you'd say, come inside. It's like they know where they're going. And like there's a context that they were inside earlier.
I still wouldn't like it if my boss told me to come inside for work. I still wouldn't like it, no matter what. I still wouldn't like it. I'd still say, just tell me to
So
come into work.
let's say it's his house and you were at his house slash the office 2 hours ago, and you decide to go outside and you're playing in the yard or you're doing something outdoors. You were already at his house office. Then he calls you up and he's like, "Come inside for the expense report." That's fine.
I still don't like the wording of it. It sounds very like, it sounds robotic. Like, come inside for the expense reports. I don't like it. I would rather have him just be like, can you come back inside? Can you come back? Can you come back? Would be even better. It's like,
Come back. So you don't like that the workplace is like a its own. You don't like that it has a inside and an outside. You don't like that you'd be trapped inside.
yeah, I think it's like, it doesn't work for the workspace. Like, come inside. Unless it was like somebody who's a coworker who's walking in front of you and like, oh, come inside. No, that would be weird. I'd hate that too if like they turned around to me rather than just holding the door and turned around and went, come inside. No, I'd be like, no. I'd be like, I'm not coming inside. Don't tell me to come inside. This is a workplace. Open up the door for me and say nothing like a normal person. That's
Well, saying
no.
okay, but saying come inside is different than saying there is an inside and there is an outside, right? So there is an inside of this office building
Yeah, there is.
that is this guy's house, right? There is an inside. You don't like being told to come inside.
Yeah. I think I don't like the word like inside being used in any fashion to describe it. Like I
I'm
think like coming to work
okay.
is
Well, you
better.
say you say you're at the office, right?
Yeah.
You're you're not inside the office.
Yeah.
Most of the time when you're at the office is just right. The office is just part of where you are when you work, right? You might be working and going to a meeting outside of the office, outside. So you can be outside the office. I'm out of the office. That's what they're saying. I'm outside the office. Right?
Yeah, I guess unless somebody was saying like, "Where are you?" "Oh, I'm just outside the office." Meaning you're like just outside. Like that guy's taking a smoke break or something and he's
I'm
standing right
outside.
outside.
I'm outside. People say that all the time when they're like if they have to get buzzed up for like their meeting, they got to get hey, I'm outside.
Yeah. And
Right?
then what if the person, well, I'm inside.
No, no,
I
no.
don't
So it
like it.
is
It's
weird.
not good.
It
Yeah.
is weird saying inside when you're talking about an office.
Mm.
I think most times the office is I'm inside the office. Why is that weird?
I don't know.
I'm inside the office. I'm inside the house. Well, okay. So it's different when you're talking to a human versus you're just saying explicit facts about what is occurring. Is different, right?
Yeah.
Because I am inside the office. He is inside the office.
Yeah.
But what the office means is so much more than what the house means. I'm inside the office. The office is everything. There's the people in the office. There's the work being done in the office. Does that mean more than the home?
But the home
Come
can
inside the
encompass
house.
all the activities in the
If you
home.
say if you say house though, if you see house, that's different.
Mm. I'm inside
I'm
the
inside.
office building. Come inside the office building. It's not right. Come inside the
No, no.
building.
Well, no. No, no. So it's implied. So it's implied in that environment. Come on, come inside. Like so you people could say come on in, right? But like they're like outside, and then I you hit the buzzer and they say come inside.
I still would. There's still something that in my head goes
Uh,
no. Like come in is better.
I
Like
don't like
come
it.
in. Yeah.
I don't like it either. Maybe it's because you're not supposed to be um you're not supposed to be in a confined space with strangers.
Maybe the inside is related to it's more like homey, like you're inside, cozy, versus in. I'm in. I'm out.
Right. Right. And just like for you to be inside another space where there's another person, like you're in there together and you don't know when you're coming out, you know? We're inside. There's this inside and there's that outside. And we're inside and we're together, but we don't know each other very well. It must be something to do with the level of familiarity with the people you're with in that space.
I wonder if even like over the time people have said like inside my house for so long that when someone was like inside the office, everyone was like, "Oh, you no, I'm home. I like being home. That's not home. That's work." And like you immediately reject it because you're like inside is reserved for my safe space. You know, it's a
I'm inside the house.
it's like
Well,
someone
that's
trying
what
to
it,
get their fingies maybe on like the cushy word of inside, and so everyone pulls it and says no.
but inside, but inside. I, but you would never like, I'm inside the house.
Hmm?
When would you ever say that? When would you ever say that sentence?
Oh, instead of I'm in the house.
Why would you ever say that either?
I don't
You
know.
might just
Let
say,
somebody
I'm
know. Like
inside.
I'm
You
inside.
could say, I'm inside, but why would you ever say, I'm inside the house? Unless you're like abducting somebody or you're in one of those horror movies, you know?
I don't know. I don't know when you'd say that, but it doesn't sound bad to me. Like if someone said like, "Oh, I'm inside my house," I wouldn't question it. But if someone was like, "I'm inside the office," I'd immediately be like, "Don't say that ever." I'd say that's no. I don't like that. That's weird.
Yeah, I'm at the
Yeah,
office.
just say you're at the office. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is really about what version of yourself you are at the location, and it changes the language you use.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm at the office. At the office is casual. There's no boundaries that you're like stating specifically. Like you're not necessarily making close relationships and social rules. You're not like constructing a social fabric that has any sufficient depth or meaning necessarily. You're
Mm.
using it as a utility, and therefore the utility has a different language that you use versus the home, and the home is very personal. And so yeah, you should use different language and prepositions.
Yeah. There must be some association where there has to be some kind of association. Like he went inside the cave. The cave isn't a homely place. It's a very hostile place. Uh, like some might even argue more hostile than the
No,
workplace, depending on where you work, of course.
but the thing is, you wouldn't say he went inside the cave.
He
What
went
you would
into the
say is
cave,
he went in the cave or he went into the cave.
and now he's
But
inside the cave.
also, but that's the thing. You can be talking about him whether he's inside or with he's outside.
Like,
That's good. You can even say that at the office. At the office, if you're talking to somebody about where you are physically, you can say I'm inside the office, I'm outside the office, right? If you're talking about logistics.
True, because
But when you're talking
come
about
inside the cave
then
is
now you're
ominous
bringing a
too.
verb. Now you're bringing motion into it by using a verb as opposed to just talking about nouns.
But come inside the cave. Come
That's a
into the
verb, right?
cave. Come inside the house. There's something. The cave seems ominous because of the cave, right? Like, come inside the cave. It's like, well, that's all right, but the cave is kind of. I don't like the cave. Come inside the office. You think the office isn't really as scary as the cave, but it sounds wrong. It still sounds wrong, you know? The come inside the office. It's like, oh, it's maybe like something like formal. Like someone, a kid could say, come inside the cave, Jimmy. And it's like, all right.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. And that's like, that's normal. All right. I'll give that a pass. But a boss, who's your boss, and
No,
says, come
they would just
inside the
say come in the
office. It's
cave.
like, oh.
If they'd say come in the cave, Jimmy. Cuz
Join.
cuz really where is the barrier? When are you actually inside the cave?
Well, technically, at a certain point, you're inside the cave. Because, like, someone could say he's inside the cave.
But when is that? Is it where the barrier is? Is it when you can no longer see the light outside of the cave? Is it when you've reached a certain number of feet from the entrance?
That's a great
Does it have to
question.
be
Because
you have
what
to
if
be
you
a
could
certain
see some.
percentage of the way into the...
What if someone was standing in the cave to the point where, like, you can just see the shadow? And everyone's like, where's Timmy? He's inside the cave. And it pans up, and then he's standing like this in the cave shadow doorway. He's inside the cave, but you can see him. But he's just barely visible in the cave. He's like there, you know? He's
He's he must be in a certain amount because he can't just be standing by the cave or even in the doorway to the cave,
but he's
you
inside, but you
know?
can still see him. He's like kind of tucked in the shadow of the
I
cave.
think
And
I think that's really hard to do is still visible but inside the cave.
but you'd still be
I can see.
inside the cave because someone would say, "Look,
Hey,
he's inside the cave."
look, he's over there. Because to them looking, it's not a cave. It's just a place where Timmy is.
But they
Look, he's
look
over there.
where? Inside the
Oh, and that
cave.
where that rock where there's that depression in that rock.
Oh, what is that?
I don't know, it looks like a tunnel.
Could it be what I'm thinking it could be? He seems to be inside of a
Tunnel.
that's made out of rock and goes somewhere deep inside of the earth.
Oh, I don't know if we know where it goes. We can only see from here. It looks
But
like a
it
tunnel.
looks like, it even says coal mine on the front. There's a giant sign that says it's a coal mine.
Yeah, we don't know if that's the entrance or not.
It says something with the C on after something C-A. I can't read, but I think it could be what we think it is.
Oh, well, he's clearly not in the cave because we can still see him here outside.
Inside the cave.
Yeah, well, if he was inside the cave, we wouldn't be able to see him.
But we can see the shadow. Look at it, it's a light. It's flickering, and I can see his outline. It's Timmy. He's inside the cave.
Oh, wow. So we can see him? He must still be outside.
Oh, no, he's inside the cave. He's somewhere deep down in there. But the flame, I can see the shadows of Timmy inside the cave.
Oh. Oh, he's in there? We can't see him anymore?
Well, I can't. But we can see his shadows. We can see him and the
Oh
light
no.
from the
So
cave. He's
we can't
inside.
see his body. We can't see his
Oh, there's a
body at
finger
all.
peeking. Oh, there's a little. I'm
Oh,
using
he's
binoculars. I can
outside.
see. No,
He's
he's inside the
outside the
cave.
cave.
I can see the finger all the way back in the cave, inside the
He,
cave. He's all the way
he's
back
outside.
inside.
He's outside.
But he's in the cave, inside the
The,
cave.
whatever's inside the cave is whatever you can't see from outside. So it
But
changes. There's no. So it depends on your perspective of what's inside the cave.
but let's say this is a cave.
Yeah.
Tim,
He's not in the cave.
no. But now
Nope. Because you can
he's
see him.
inside. He's inside the cave, and let's say it
No,
goes
no,
really far back, and you can just see. I see him. He's way back
no,
there inside the cave.
no.
He's
It's
way
the same.
back.
It's the same as the barrel with the lid taken off, dude.
He's
He's not inside.
yeah, he's way back there. We can almost see him. We see
Almost.
him back
If you can't.
inside in the cave.
Oh, you see him? Oh, wait. You can or you can't see him?
You can barely see him. Look at it. He's almost a shadow. He's like 100 feet into the cave. He's 100 feet inside the cave.
Oh, it seems like
But I can see him.
we can see him just a little bit.
He's like an ant.
we
He's
can-
so
so we
small.
can-
He's so far back in the cave. It's like a little ant dancing in the dark that we see.
He's in the cave, right? And he's out of the cave, but he surely isn't inside the cave, and he's also not outside the cave.
But he's so far back into the cave, inside the cave.
Yeah, Well, he is in the cave, right? Most of his body's in the cave, and then his fingers out of the cave.
But
But
let's
he,
say
as in a hole, it's like the same thing about your foot hanging out of the front door.
this is the cave, and he's all the way back though. He's like,
Can you still see him?
wait, that's actually really hard to match that up. Oh,
Oh,
the finger's really
so
far away.
so so we can still see him, right? So he must be outside still.
He's like, hey, no, he's inside the cave. He's like, hey, look, I'm way back here, guys. I'm inside the cave.
Oh, so like what? So can you tell me when he entered the cave?
A long time ago. I'm so far back in the cave.
Where? Where physically did he enter?
I entered from the front of the cave. It took
Show
me
me
5
show me
days.
where he entered. Show me the entrance to the cave.
I'm trying to walk towards it, but I'm so far away. Way. Inside the cave. Oh, I'm traveling far back. Oh, there's a little corner here. I'm inside the cave. Oh, but I'm just peeking. I'm inside the cave.
Okay, hey, so I don't believe you unless you show me where the entrance is.
It's on the other side. This side of the cave. I just found
Show
this
me.
entrance on the other side of the cave.
I don't believe you. I
You
don't
gotta
believe that you
me.
know.
So
I
watch
don't
me go
believe
to
you
the
know
other
where the entrance is.
side of the cave.
I don't believe
I
you
just
know
went
where
to
it
the
is.
other entrance of the cave. It's
Show
all
me
the
where
way
the
over on
entrance
other
is.
side. I'm in the middle of the cave. It's a two-sided cave.
So it sounds like a tunnel. Is what it sounds
Yeah,
like
he's
to
inside
me.
the tunnel.
Yeah.
Cave.
Where does it? So it's. I mean, it's like this thing. Like, how many holes does a straw have?
Oh, see, that's a lot of people. I've heard that one before. Either one or two is what people say.
And what do you say?
Hmm.
And there's no inside of the straw.
But see, there's technically most people would say, how many holes are in a shirt?
4.
Might be 2 holes in a straw, but at the same time, I'm more convinced of 2. I'm more convinced of 2 than 1 because there's not 1 hole in a shirt. I refuse to ever say such a thing, but I think that I don't even know if they can be classified as holes.
But all the holes are different sizes on a shirt, so it's not a true comparison.
Hmm.
And also, it's an inflexible I guess there's the bendy straw, so I don't know. Um, like if there's like if even a pipe, like a garden hose, how many holes does that have? I think it's still the same thing, no matter if it twists around or not,
Yeah, and
or
what
if you
if
can
you
see all the way through it.
pinch it? Pinch the straw.
Yeah.
Two
Well, what's a
holes?
hole? What is a hole?
I wonder. I feel like a hole almost is something. Well, if you think about it, a hole would
There's
be
a
like,
material, and then there's a gap in the material.
yeah, but technically this is a hole. Like if someone like pokes a hole through something, poke, it's a hole.
Yeah.
But then if it goes long, zoom, doesn't really change the fact that it's a hole. I guess when you think about it.
Yeah, like if it was you're poking a hole in a stone, and like there's a hole in the rock, right?
Yeah.
And then you can make that hole really, 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 really long. But there's a certain point when it stops being a hole. I think there's a physical limitation on what can be considered a hole. Because you can start
It's
digging a
possible.
hole in the ground, right? But if you dig far enough, then it becomes a tunnel to China. You're not
Ah,
digging a hole to China,
good point.
right?
Maybe a straw doesn't have any holes in it. It has a tunnel.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. That does make a lot more sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
A
very
straw is
true.
a tunnel.
And I guess by that definition, I mean like these. See, but then the shirt becomes a whole conversation because is this hole to the bottom of my shirt? Is that a tunnel? Technically, could
No.
be described because the straw.
No, because the holes are being cut in the fabric, which is actually very thin. So there's a thin thing where the hole is being chopped out of, like chunk, like a hole punch. So there would be four like hole punches you could do in fabric and make a shirt. You can't hole punch a straw. That's impossible.
Hmm. But the thing is that well, you technically could though. What if someone put two little holes on the side of the straw and made a straw shirt?
What?
Like
If they
imagine
put if they
the
put holes on the side of the straw, not like the drinking end.
yeah, but imagine like this is a big straw and there's a hole on each side and then someone went chunk chunk. Now it's a straw shirt.
Now it's like it's shaped like a shirt.
Hmm.
Now what you have is a tunnel and two holes.
But wouldn't this then maybe a shirt is just a tunnel and two holes? I think it is. It's the tunnel and two holes.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Especially a tank top. That's just a straw with with two holes in it. That's what that is.
It can't be a tunnel. It can't be a tunnel if it's not rigid. There's not rigidity.
But a straw you can just bend.
Yeah,
There's
then
no rigidity.
it has a natural form though that it lands in, right?
Not
And it's
if
an
you bend it too much, eventually it just gives way. You can create a cramp.
well, what are we talking about? Are we talking about a, a straw that we've destroyed and folded, or are we talking about a fully intact straw?
Depends. The fact that it can be manipulated, though, the straw can change its form. Even like a hose. Think about a hose is pretty much a long straw, but a hose can
Hmm.
bend and can flop around just like a shirt can. You know, you could probably make a hose shirt if you wanted to.
Yeah, just punched a couple holes in the side.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, well, a shirt is more of a hose with two holes in it.
yeah.
I guess hose, I guess hose isn't a tunnel. A hose is a hose.
Yeah, a hose is a hose. That would mean that a straw is just a hose, but it's
Straw is just a hose.
it is. Yeah. And then by that definition, I would say a
Wow.
tank top is just a straw or a hose. In that case, a hose with two holes in it.
A straw is just a hose.
A straw is just a hose.
Wait, but a shirt, dude. I mean, a shirt is cloth. It's fabric. Like if it's laying flat on the ground, is it still a hose with two holes in the side?
Yeah, I think you could make it work. I mean, especially if you just lined it with a tarp hose.
Well, there's a garden hose, right? But then there's just like a hose, an air hose, which is just a tube. Oh, well, a tube.
Tube is a tunnel because it's rigid.
A tube is it? A tube? No, a tube can be made out of rubber, which is flexible.
It could. Then it would be a hose.
A tube is a hose, but I'm saying a
Yeah.
straw is a tube, not a hole or
But
two holes.
you can bend it, especially a bendy straw. You bend it just like a garden hose.
It's a tube. It's a tube.
Like think
It's a
about it.
tube because you can have tubes that are bendy like that.
Actually, that reminds me. I have a hose, but the water. I gotta check the water level to make sure it's not overflowing because that's such a
Oh
small
yeah, yeah,
container. But it's bendy.
yeah,
It's a bendy hose.
yeah. It
Oh my
might be
god!
considered a tube even.
Stop! Stop!
Is it leaking?
Oh my god!
I guess it's overflowing.
Oh. Oh man, I had to stop that. That was really bad. It fills up quick. It's
Was it real?
surface tension has saved me.
Oh wow, it's that full.
Yeah.
Wow, good thing we brought up tubes and
Yeah, I caught it
hoses.
perfectly in time. That's amazing. The surface tension. I
Wow,
wish I had an alternate cam where I could show what that looks like. It's just
wow,
I'm worried it's going to just like from the tension alone start overflowing. I'm going to
wow.
have to
Well,
take
that's
that
gonna be
out.
fun. You're gonna definitely gonna spill some of that.
Oh yeah, well my plan is I put I soak up maybe the top with paper towels and then I carry it out.
Yeah, yeah, or try to get something underneath it and then just go chunk and just pour it into something
Oh,
else.
good idea. Maybe a cup or something. It's a very wide
Chunk.
plastic container, but that fills up with
Is
water
it square?
fast.
It's square.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could just tip it towards one corner. Chunk. But yeah, a hose, like there's a hose, and a hose is for something that you are filling up, right? But a tube, like a tube can just be like the shape of a hose, but it's maybe used for something else.
Mm. But if it's bendy, like that water hose, I was just gonna
Yeah.
use that as an example. It bends. It's a bendy hose. You can do things with it.
But it's only a hose because it's transporting one thing from one place to another place. Just sitting there, it could be considered a tube.
And that's what they call it actually. And I think in the manual they say the tube, the water tube. They don't call it a hose. But to me, I'm thinking it's a tube. It's a hose. Water comes out of it. Water comes out.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hose. It's a hose. It is shaped like a tube. A tube is a shape. So that's what a straw is. A straw is a tube.
That could also technically, if you think about it, be a hose.
It could, it's more of a hose than it is plastic that has one or two holes in it.
Yeah.
and it's a tunnel. I like a straw as a tunnel.
I think it still works. That would make a hose, I think, a tunnel of sorts, you know? A tunnel for water.
Yeah, a
In
water
fact,
tunnel.
someone could run a hose underground. I'm not saying it would work the same as your pipes. It would be worse, less protected. It would probably get punctured at some point, but someone would be like,
A
what do you use for pipes to pipe water to your house? My hose? It's a pipe.
hose. It's a hose
It's
pipe.
a hose pipe. Yeah.
Yeah, well, a straw's a pipe.
Yeah.
Straw is a hose pipe tube tunnel.
If an ant had a house, that's what they would use for their sewer system. They would use a straw as a
Ho
pipe.
They would. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be too big. Imagine if we had like our plumbing was like 15 times as big as our bodies, taking some big shits.
Yeah. That would be industrial, an industrial waste facility, you know?
I guess, but imagine that there were 15,000 people living in the same house. They would need plumbing that big.
True. Yeah.
They're
Especially if they
crawling
just
all over it.
like all fed into one tube.
Right.
Yeah,
One pipe, one
definitely.
hose. I think it would have so it's the pipe is a hose, but in order for it to be actually a hose, it actually has to like be sprayed somewhere.
Mm.
It has to go somewhere. It like a pipe will connect two places, like the toilet to the sewer system, right? But a hose it shoots out the what's in there to the outside world.
Hmm. But
Hose
what
it
would happen
off.
if you sucked on a hose and water came out? There would be a straw.
It'd be a big straw.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be going to the outside world. So then a straw in use is a hose.
Yeah.
So it depends if it's in use.
I think I'm actually gonna go get some food here and take care of
Yeah.
that water. Yeah, because the heat's gonna start coming back. I can already feel like it heats up quick. I gotta get that AC back up and running.
Yeah, okay. Of course, yeah, you should do that.
I like this episode. We're 2 hours and 30 minutes. We got a good episode here.
Yeah, we definitely did.
Lots of topics too. We went from extreme heat, movie discussion, all the way to what else was it? Oh yeah, placement inside
Inside
or
or outside?
outside.
That was a good 40 minutes right there.
Yeah, and then all
I still
landed
don't
on
know the
holes.
answer. I still don't know the answer.
Me neither.
Inside.
I think some
I
of it
think
is
you need to.
mental. Is just like
Yeah.
what sounds the best.
Well, yeah, how culturally we use it. But yeah, I think what I learned is you got to be careful when you say inside when you're talking to somebody else because
Oh,
it could sound weird.
yeah.
It could sound weird.
Especially if you're a boss at an office, I would say that's when you really got to be careful because I'd be uncomfortable.
I need you to come inside. Like
Yeah,
you
that's
got to
not
say that. You
unacceptable.
got
I
to say
can't.
that the right intonation. You have to.
Yeah, I would just be like, tell me to just, can you come back in for work?
I
All
guess it
right.
depends on what you do for work.
Oh, maybe I guess if you work inside of a. I'm trying to think if you work inside of a factory. Come inside of the factory. No, I hate that too. That's even worse. Yeah, I don't like any of it. I think, like, unless you're a captain and you say, come inside the ship,
Uh-uh.
then it's okay. Then that's okay with me. If
Uh-uh.
someone told me to come
It's not
inside the ship
okay.
like the captain and I that would be okay. That'd be fine.
If he said come inside and I was outside, then I'd be okay with it. But he would never say come inside the ship if you're on the ship already.
Yeah.
No, he wouldn't say that. You're on the ship already.
All crew members, come inside the ship.
All the seamen come in the ship.
Yeah, they might even be making a joke. You know?
Well, I'll come in the ship.
Come in the ship. Yeah, come in the ship. That would be weird. See, but then what if they all come in the ship and they said, well, you didn't say to come inside the ship. You said come in the ship, so we did.
Yeah, so that's fine. Come inside the ship. All crewmen's report. They're just coming inside, or they're not going to somewhere specific.
Just inside the ship. Maybe it's windy. He doesn't care where they go. He says, I don't care where you go as long as you're inside the ship. Like, what if someone says, sir, where in the ship do you need us? And the captain says, I don't care where you are inside the damn ship. Just come inside. These waves are getting crazy out here. And so they all come inside the ship because that's what the captain said.
Must come indoors.
Could say that. Where is indoors, sir? It's inside the ship.
Find a fucking door and go inside of it.
he wouldn't explain. Sir, don't you mean inside the ship? No.
No, I don't mean inside the ship, you idiot, because
There is no inside the ship.
you can't be inside. All right, well, good luck with your thing. Let me know if you want any assistance making it.
Thank you. Yeah, I might. I'm gonna see how far I can get. For now, it works. It keeps the place somewhat cool. So until I get the wood, I think I'll survive. I'll survive at least.
Good.
All right. We will see you guys in the next episode for anybody watching.
Dun, 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 dun,
Have fun.
dun, 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 dun.
Inside the stream.
Inside.